First thing is you need to come down to your dock and open up Final Cut Pro. When you open up Final Cut Pro, a menu is going to pop up. This is how you set up Final Cut Pro. The first thing is you're going to need to set up format. Now, there's going to be many different formats from all different types of cameras. So for a good default is going to be NTSC. For frame rate, you're going to do 29.97, and that's frames per second. And then use, for right now, default just DV-NTSC. Now, this is very, very important. Macintosh hard drive. This folder, I believe your folder will say the year. That doesn't exist. You need to change the primary scratch disk. If you don't change this, the next time you try to open up Final Cut Pro, it's not going to open up. It's going to look like it's going to open up, and then it's automatically going to close, and you're going to be stumped. Make sure you change the primary scratch disk. And where I would like you to change it to is Macintosh hard drive, users. Do not click on your username. Come down here to the shared folder, and in the shared folder, create a new folder with your name. And hit create, hit choose, and you've just set your primary scratch disk to that. And then you're going to hit OK. This next dialog is going to pop up, and it's saying unable to locate the following external device. This is basically saying you do not have a camera connected to your computer, which is correct. You know that. For some reason it gives you a warning saying that. So you can say do not warn again, or just hit continue. Now Final Cut has opened up. Just to give you an overview, this is your browser. This is where you import videos, pictures, and anything else into. Also, when you start creating your edited video, it's going to be underneath Sequence 1. So if you want to change the name, you can click one time on there and change the name if you want. Over here is your viewer. This is where you view videos before you put them in your timeline. So if you import a bunch of videos in your browsers and you need to view them, you would view them in this window. Then you have your canvas. This is where you view what you've edited down here in your timeline, and this is of course your timeline, and this is where you actually cut and edit your videos. So that's a brief overview. So the first thing you're going to need to do before you even get into importing or exporting or cutting your video is you're going to need to do some settings changes here. And you're going to go into System Settings, and right here this is Scratch Disk. And I know we changed it one time in that first dialog box, but we need to change it again right here. And we're going to hit Set, Macintosh hard drive, user, shared. I'm going to find my folder, and inside this folder I'm going to create say marking period 1 folder, so that I'm going to separate all my marking period videos into different folders. It is very important that you stay organized. And now watch. So inside marking period 1 right now there's no folders, and I'm going to hit choose. But if I go back into that folder, see, this is my marking period 1. It just created 3 folders. So Final Cut Pro created an audio render files folder, a capture scratch folder, and a render files folder. So when you start rendering video, which is something you will learn a little later on, rendering is just something that helps Final Cut read the video in different formats. It saves files here that Final Cut Pro references in these different folders. So it's important that you know where these are, because Final Cut Pro, if you move files or you move stuff, you need to move this also, otherwise you might have to re-render. So I'm going to just hit cancel because I've already chosen that. So I'm going to hit OK. Now the next thing is I'm going to go into user preferences, and over here where it says report drop frames during playback, I'm going to unclick, and apport, I'm going to unclick that and click OK. So now you are ready to start importing your videos.